Hey guys, it's Cassie Garcia here today with Sew and Grow Together, and today I'm going to show you a really easy way to save you some money if you use a lot of vanilla extract. You will not believe how easy it is to make. Hey and welcome. We are three families who come together to help each other grow in our faith, family, homesteading, and whatever else life throws our way. Join us on this journey as we sew and grow together. All right, so how much money you're going to save on this will depend on a couple things. One, how much do you use? Because there is a little bit of cost as you're first getting this started. So if it's something that you use a whole lot of, it's definitely going to save you money more quickly. If it's not something you use very often, you may be better off just buying a high quality one that you can find at the grocery store. But I'm betting it won't take very long for this to save you money. All you need are vanilla beans, some containers, preferably glass, with lids. I'm using plastic, and an alcohol. Now, some people use bourbon, which is a little more expensive. I go with the just standard vodka that you can buy pretty cheaply. It doesn't have to be a crazy expensive, high quality thing. So I'm going to show you how easy this is to get set up and how quickly you can start saving money. The other ingredient is time, and you will need a little bit of that. I have seen where people have used the Instant Pot to create the extract a lot more quickly, and that does work. I've tried it. I'm not as thrilled with the quality and the potency of it as I am with this method. All right, so today I have 50 beans here in this package. They come packaged like vacuum sealed, which is really nice. It can last for a long time. One thing that's going to affect the potency and how strong the extract is going to be the freshness of these beans, and they do stay more fresh in the vacuum sealed packages. So if you're not going to use a large amount, you can purchase them in 10s or 20s, things like that. The grade of vanilla bean, grade A, is really great. You can buy B grade vanilla beans as well, and for the purposes of just making an extract, that's fine. Whatever you can find that's in your budget, it's still going to be better than the store-bought stuff, really, even if you're not buying the most expensive vanilla beans available. These are Madagascar vanilla beans, grade A, organic. So this is what I'm using. Now, if you were not going to use all of these, you would want to vacuum seal it again, what was left, or at least put them in a really nice, tightly sealed bag until you're ready to use the rest of it so they last a little longer. I'm going to be making a whole lot of this so that I'll have plenty later, but you might, for your home purposes, not need this many. So the first thing we're going to do is cut open the package. And they smell amazing. So when you get a vanilla bean out, you will notice that it's kind of a long, thin, with a little hook at the top. And the beans, where most of the flavor, are inside this long, skinny part. So what we're going to do to release that flavor is we're just going to cut this in half lengthwise so that we're opening up the beans inside for the flavor. Now, if you're going to be using a smaller jar or container, you may want to cut them in half lengthwise and widthwise so that they'll fit a little more easily. We'll start by making a slit right down the length of this vanilla bean, and you'll want to do this with all of them. In a 1-quart jar, I'm using 10 vanilla beans. So I'm going to go ahead and count those out ahead of time. That way I know exactly how many I have. If you buy the 10 pack, you don't need to worry too much about that. You can make 1 quart of vanilla extract using 10 vanilla beans. And you can do more or less. Of course, the time that you let it extract is going to affect the potency as well. So if you needed to use less, you could just wait longer. And if you can use more, it would be more potent more quickly. I did decide to go ahead and cut each one in half lengthwise and widthwise. That way I didn't have to worry about them sticking up out of the alcohol at any point, because anything exposed above the alcohol is going to be more at risk of molding over time, whereas anything in that vodka is going to be preserved really well. All right, so I've got 10 vanilla beans cut up lengthwise and widthwise in this jar. And now I'm going to add the only other ingredient, which is alcohol. This is 40% alcohol. I just bought the cheapest thing I could this was from Sam's, in the largest quantity, and all I'm going to do is pour this in here. It's as easy as that. I'm going to put my plastic lid on, and I'm going to tell you why. I like using these plastic lids for my extracts and tinctures and things. You're going to want a lid that doesn't leak, so you want to have a decent quality lid that does seal enough that you can shake it up without alcohol dripping everywhere. And while I wouldn't want the alcohol sitting on the plastic all the time, possibly leaching things out of the plastic that I don't want and something I'm going to be eating, if it touches it every now and then, it's not a huge deal. Whereas if it is a metal lid, you could end up with some corrosion and rust, and I don't want rusty vanilla, so I'm not going to use that. You could use one and just put a piece of parchment paper between the liquid underneath the lid so that it didn't come in contact directly with the metal on the lid. You could do that as well. But I have these lids, they work really well. I'm going to put this jar somewhere not in direct sunlight. I'm probably going to put it on a shelf, but I'm going to put it somewhere that I see it pretty often, maybe with my spices that I use for cooking, or in a cabinet that we use often, so that when I see it, I will remember to shake it up. And I'm going to label this with the date that I began this, what it is, because, you know, if you don't see it for a little while and you forget what you have in a jar, that's no fun. So I'm going to label it with vanilla extract, and I'm going to put the 2 ingredients, grade A Madagascar vanilla beans, 10 of them, and 40% vodka. And then you can see right now that the vodka is very clear, even after putting them in here with the vanilla beans. And I could show you here in even a week or 2, you're going to see it really start to darken as it extracts the vanilla from these beans. And within a few months, really 3 or 4 months, you could start using this. I like to leave it a little longer. Something I've done for a few years is if I end up with any Amazon gift cards or any money left over after Christmas, I will buy some vanilla beans, probably your biggest expense in this, and grab some vodka at the store and make it up sometime in January. And then by the time we get close to Christmas, it's ready to bottle up. It has been extracting for almost a year, and it's fantastic. And they make really great Christmas gifts. So if I start this now, I'll have plenty to use for next Christmas for my baking and to give as gifts. The other expense is if you want to use a more expensive alcohol. I have read that bourbon makes a fantastic vanilla extract, and it gives it a deeper, bolder flavor. But it's more expensive, so I'm going to stick with, I really like this vodka one, and it works really great in all the recipes. It has a great smell and taste, and I like that it's clear, so I can really see the difference as it starts to age and extract. And as I shake this up, then I'm mixing more of it to have more contact with the vanilla beans, instead of just the vodka that's right there at the bottom with the beans. The other expense is depending on how you want to bottle it. Now for your home use, you don't have to do anything fancy. I could take a little bit from this and put it in a smaller jar or container that I have on hand and use that. But if you want to get real fancy, there are some really cool bottles you can get on Amazon or other places, I'm sure. But I have used these, I will show you. And what's really cool is after you fill them, I even put some of the, like 1 or 2 of the beans in each little bottle, and it just makes it look that much more homemade. And continues extracting and giving it a bolder flavor until the people that I'm giving it to end up using it. And then when you put the lid on, these come with a foil topper. And after you've closed the lid and you've set the foil on top, you can use a hairdryer and seal it. It's just really professional looking and honestly, really satisfying to do. And it's so easy. It looks like it was bought at the store. You can slap your own label on this, whether I've done homemade labels, handwritten labels, I've printed them. You can buy sheets of stickers to go through your printer and design your own labels that way. Or you can use what we just started using is our own mini thermal label maker. And that has been really cool because it doesn't need ink and we just have to make sure we have the right labels on hand, and we can make some really creative, although it only uses one color. You can get more creative in purchasing different colors of labels, but the ink or the print is only in one color. But that's okay. You can do all kinds of crazy things and get as creative as you want. But let me share with you another secret that I have heard people do to help it save you even more money. And that is using this as a continual jar. Maybe 3 or 4 months into this, I'm out of vanilla extract. And I want to take just a little bit into another container to use for baking or whatever. And then I just top it right back off with some more vodka to refill the jar. And then I continue to let it sit with the vanilla beans. It continues to get more potent as time goes by, even though I've removed some and added a little bit of vodka to top it back off. And I could continue doing that little by little for my own personal use, and I could continue to use these same vanilla beans for quite a long time. Now, the potency would eventually start going down, of course, and if I was selling some, or if I was doing something that I needed something really precise, I wouldn't do that. But honestly, none of this is super precise because you're dealing with plants, you're dealing with you don't know how potent each vanilla bean is. It depends on when they harvested, the method of harvesting, how quickly they got it vacuum sealed, and how long it's been vacuum sealed before you got it. You've got different proofs of vodka can vary the potency and how vanilla it is, and then also how much time and how often you shake it and how much you cut it up, how much surface area is exposed. All of those things are going to have an effect on how strong of a vanilla extract you have. But as I usually do, I will encourage you not to overthink it because all of those things affect it. You just give it the best chance you've got. So I've tried to expose more surface area on the beans. I'm going to put it in a place where I will see it to remember to shake it up often. And I'm going to give it plenty of time. I'm not going to be in a hurry, and it's going to be amazing. So I'd love to hear if you guys do this, if you try it out and see how it goes for you. I know it takes a little bit of time, but if you are using a lot of vanilla extract and you plan to continue doing that, then this is definitely something that would benefit you, because what this will be here in a few months is as good or better, probably better, than the expensive stuff that you would buy at the store. And you potentially don't need to buy any more vanilla beans for a very long time. I love doing this. We did not do it last year, and I'm really missing out. I had to buy vanilla extract from the store for the first time in a long time, and it reminded me how expensive it is to buy at the store when you don't want the artificial stuff. I'm like, what am I doing? I can make my own at home so easily, and I thought I'd bring you along and hope you like it. Try it out, and we'd like to hear from you in the comments. I will be putting links below if you do want to try this out to some good quality vanilla beans, and you can adjust the quantity that you want depending on how much you want to make. You can use any container any glass container, but I'll put a link to some mason jars that we use and the plastic lids that you can find there. You can probably find your own alcohol at any kind of store that sells alcohol. Don't overthink that. Look for vodka. You're thinking like 80 proof, 40%. You want something that is not super expensive if you're really looking to save money. And if you have all of those things, plus a knife and a cutting board, my husband made me this cutting board, isn't it so pretty? Then you can make your own vanilla extract. I'm so excited to have y'all try this out, and we will catch you next time. If you like this, don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out our page for more content as we sew and grow together. Thanks, guys.